Does love at first sight exist? What science says. Love at first sight is one of the most romantic and recurrent concepts in literature, movies and personal stories. The idea of feeling an immediate and deep connection with someone as soon as you cross eyes seems magical. But what does science say about this phenomenon? More attraction than love. Research in social psychology indicates that what we commonly call love at first sight is actually instant attraction. Our brain processes in seconds traits such as physical appearance, body language or even tone of voice, activating areas related to reward and desire. A study published in Personal Relationships, 2017, concluded that people who claim to have experienced love at first sight tend to describe intense feelings of physical attraction and immediate sympathy, rather than deep emotional bonding. The brain under the magnifying glass. When we see someone we are attracted to, the brain releases dopamine and norepinephrine, neurotransmitters related to arousal and motivation. This chemical cocktail can generate an intense sensation that we mistake for love. However, love understood as a stable, emotional and attached bond requires time, shared experiences and trust. Dopamine gives us a feeling of pleasure and motivation. Norepinephrine accelerates the heart and generates that adrenaline typical of a crush. Oxytocin, known as the attachment hormone, reinforces the feeling of connection. True love, on the other hand, needs time, trust and shared experiences to consolidate. That's why what we feel at the beginning could be just the initial spark of something that, with the right care, will develop into real love. In other words, the crush exists, but it is more of a biological spark than a guarantee of lasting love. Influencing factors. The likelihood of feeling that instant connection depends on several factors, physical attractiveness, still one of the quickest triggers. Cultural or social similarities, we are attracted to the familiar. Emotional state, we are more open to falling in love when we feel vulnerable or in search of a partner. Context, romantic places or intense emotional situations can enhance the perception of a crush. What the skeptics say. Many researchers argue that the concept of love at first sight is a myth fueled by popular culture. They argue that, over time, couples tend to reinterpret the moment they met as love at first sight because they already know the relationship worked, a phenomenon known as memory bias. So, is it real? The science is clear, what we feel on a first encounter can be very intense, but it is not love in the full sense, but immediate attraction accompanied by idealization. However, that initial spark can be the beginning of a lasting relationship if it is built with communication, experiences and mutual trust. In conclusion, love at first sight exists. But not as it is painted in fairy tales. It's more like a biological crush that can open the door to a real love story, as long as you both decide to nurture it day by day. Thank you for watching the video.